Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another week of Fed Friday. I'm Joe Gleason, and with me is my co-host and brother, Thom Gleason. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Joe.
What are we going to talk about? Hey, just another warm day, spring day here in Phoenix. So gotta love that, and just excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we got a little sunshine, and it's in the low 60s, so it's polo shirt weather. So I wanted to twins it up with this since we have above freezing temperatures.
There you go. Yeah. So what are we going to talk about today? Anything? What do you think? What are we going to excite and amaze with today?
I got a couple of quick things. First, I know we wanted to talk about when we were setting up for this video. We were both able to get together this week. We wanted to take a quick moment to shout out to our partners at FIBA. We were able to get down to Tampa, and actually we got together. So we've got some great content that we're going to be excited to be rolling out to you federal employees in the coming days and weeks. But it was great to see you and kind of be able to powwow about these things that we're passionate about, see our team, see old friends and make some new friends. So just been a great week so far. And now it's Friday, time to do the Fed Friday.
There you go. Yeah, we've been kind of hit and miss with it. And one of the things we realized when we were down in Florida is we really do want to commit to creating this content. Especially now, there's been so much going on, over the last couple of years here, and it's really important that at least for us to get the content out, so people have a feel for our style, what we do, how we help our clients, but also that you've got the information so that you can have the empowerment to navigate, as you prepare for retirement. So, yeah, I wanted to shout out FIBA real quick too. Thanks for hosting us. It was a great trip. Really appreciated the red carpet. What a classy organization, and they're really committed to education and making sure federal employees really understand what their benefits are. So just really proud to be affiliated and a part of the team. So thank you to them. And what else are we going to chat about today?
Well, let's jump in. So one of the things that we were talking about throughout the whole week, we've been talking about it for months, is I think a lot of advisors look at the logical and the kind of the financial and numeric elements of this, which we certainly do as well. But what we want to do is we interweave all these different concepts together in these short little packets. They all weave together, but it's also a shift in mindset too. So you're going from working years into transitioning into retirement. So there's some emotional changes that are happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So today we were looking at talking about sequence of returns and just getting some of the mental part of it out in the open too, where it's not even thinking, oh gosh, I put this much into my plan every year, I'm expecting these kind of returns. And we're thinking accumulation, where we just want to make our pile bigger and bigger. We're transitioning into thinking about taking distributions. And right. So that takes some mental changes.
It's a pivot, isn't it? Yeah. You that whole, like, hey, I've spent my whole career just making those contributions, getting those matches in the accumulation phase.
Right.
And so you accumulate, and then you have to start pivoting over and changing that mindset. I totally agree. And I think that's one of the hardest things for folks as they go from working, because you're focused on your career, right? You're doing your job, probably raising a family, or you're involved in other things. And you're just focused on going to work, and those contributions and those matches are just happening. Maybe you make some tweaks along the way. You change from the C fund to the I fund, and maybe reallocate every once in a while. But for the most part, and maybe add in some Roth money. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, the mindset is just to keep grinding, go to work, and make those contributions. But as you get closer to retirement, it is crucial, and I think it's very, if not crucial, it's very important to make that mindset that you're talking about, right, to make that shift in mindset. Because if you don't, and you just keep plugging away, that's where we see people make mistakes and stumble.
Agree. And I think every federal employee that's listening to this, we've all seen in our departments somebody that's retired ahead of you. And our personal families, Joe, we both remember when our grandfather transitioned into retirement. It took him at least a couple of years to get used to the idea of not working anymore. So
it's great that you bring that up too, because I think that was one of the reasons why I got into financial services when Grandpa retired. Yeah. He got some bad advice. We were from a small town. He had worked at a company that sold livestock feed to farmers. Did a great job. He was a top producer. Really helped a lot of farmers maximize, the health of their animals,
which is a direct correlation to livelihood and income and all.
Right.
The better farm you're running, the more income you generate from that farm.
But in that retirement process, he had a stockbroker, he had a banker, and he had a tax person, and none of the three of them worked together or had any understanding of kind of the plan from the other side. And when he retired, he took his entire he had basically something similar to the TSP, like a 401k. He took that entire lump sum. He had two goals when he retired. He wanted to pay off his mortgage, and he wanted to buy an RV for cash and be able to travel all around the country and drive to all the states that you can drive to.
I remember you stole it and you drove to Indiana with it or something.
Yeah, you saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? Where they kind of jumped the tracks. That was me and Grandma and Grandpa's RV, right?
No. A couple days later, no, I kid.
Smoking tires, right?
That thing got pretty fast. You got it over 100, I think. No.
What does it get? 0 to 60 in what? Right?
So yeah, NOS on it or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So when he retired, you remember this, and I still remember the pain of the realization, and that's that he took the money out of his 401k or TSP equivalent, and as many of you probably know, and if you don't, here's the lesson: every dollar that came out was taxable. So he had this large distribution that he took, and nobody said, "Hey, you know what? You should probably be thinking about what the tax ramifications are going to be when you do that."
And I'm not an accountant, and I'm not here to give tax advice, but I will tell you that the bigger the chunk is, there's like step ups in what you take in distribution. So
the higher the tax bracket, right?
If you have a plan to pull that out to lower the impact that you have, there's efficiencies in that. So again, not tax advice, but he did not do it the right way, and it wound up overcharging himself tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, remember he had to take out a line of credit on the house that he had just paid off to cover his tax bill that year, all because one hand didn't know what the other one's doing. So it is really important, if you have those kinds of goals, that you really are working with a team that understands all the different facets of it. And I owned a tax practice for 10 years. And although I'm not a tax professional, I have an understanding of it, and I would at least understand to be able to. So anyway, be that as it may, as you get closer to retirement, or if you're in retirement, all just to make the point, and it's something that hit close to home with both Tom and I with our grandparents, that if you take the wrong step, it can be very impactful on what your retirement looks like. So today we're talking about income planning. And the part of income planning that a lot of people don't really get enough into is because we always talk about averages, right? Like this fund has averaged 8% over the last 10 years. The G fund has averaged 2.7%.
Yeah, and your small advisor, that's their main focus too. Is like we're gonna just grow your pile at the largest rate of return as possible. Sure, you'll have some risk along the way, which our advice would be while you're working and beyond 5 years from retiring, or maybe some nuance there, but just general rules of thumb. It's okay to have risk portfolios and all that sort of thing. So we're not here to say anything bad about growing the pile, bigger rates of return. But as you start to descend into the years of retirement, I interrupted you, so go ahead and.
Yeah, well, it's that rule of 100 that we've talked about, right? It's the idea that the closer, it's 100 minus your age, and then whatever that answer is, the amount of risk that you should have. So if you're 70. You should have 30% of your portfolio in risk. And so this lines up with what you're saying, lines up with that notion, is that nothing wrong with having some risk, and everyone's different. So someone might have more risk tolerance as you're older than other folks, but it's a rule of thumb that as you get older, that you scale back the risk and have more safety and know so rather than hope so. So in that piece, we do want to, because for the people that just charge ahead and then don't really think about it and just say, I'm just going to do what I did while I was accumulating while I'm in my income capture phase, there is a risk to that. And that's part of what we want to talk about today. So I'm going to pull this up and let's jump into the sequence of return. So go ahead and start there.
I hate when you do this to me. You make me read from a. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So
I can't even see that. Can you? I'm like looking at the screen. I'm like, what does it even say? My over 50 eyes.
So it's really just an idea of, when you're thinking from your planner saying, hey, or whatever, you're looking at your TSP portfolio and saying, oh, it's averaged over the last 10, 20 years, 5%, 7%, 9%. That doesn't really tell the whole story, because we're going to have increases. We're going to have we have corrections, and then it claws back over time. And as the time becomes less and less of your friend in this equation, that clawback is more and more serious, just to get back to where you started out before. So just when we have, the market, how it's historically worked is it has really strong years, and then a couple okay years, and then it will, it will kind of pull back a little bit, and then have another strong year. So there's no way to really guess that unless you're one of the most elite, advisors in the world. So it's really just, there's a lot of concepts we can get in on other chats, but really just for the purpose of today is it's not one even straight line that's 8%, 8%, 7%, 9%. It's more like the Rocky Mountains than the hills of Ohio or something. It's not going to be.
Well, let's show that. So you get the concept. It's not just average is 7 and then it's 7% every year. It's the herky jerkiness of it, right? So let's talk about it. And hopefully everyone can see this. Here's two different scenarios, and it's someone who has $1 million, and it's two different, like, where the sequence of returns, how it impacts what your nest egg ends up being, and the potential maybe even running out of money if you really get bad timing and it doesn't work out, right? So two people, investor A and investor B, both people taking out $65,000 a year. They're in that center column, the red distributions. And as you can see, both the same age. But if you look on the annual return over here for investor A, you start off with a few rough years right as you jump into retirement. And so you're negative. And on top of that, you're taking out a distribution of income. So that income is also a negative on the portfolio.
And just a really quick asterisk, most folks think, we're going to have lower taxes when we transition into retirement. Again, not tax advice, but that's just the rule of thumb is that's not the case. Like, it usually stays around the same. So there's no, even on the tax pillar where that is we're talking about the perfect storm of losses in the market and withdrawals, and then you're not saving on the tax piece. It could just end up being
with traditional distributions, right? With Roth, of course, there would be no taxation on that, but with the traditional distributions, you're 100% spot on. So not only do you have market losses, not only do you have the distribution coming out, you also have the tax impact, right? So you gotta add this 65,000 onto your first pension, onto Social Security, maybe a spousal, pension or any of that kind of stuff, or Social Security. So all of that comes together as the total household income. And if you're getting these kind of losses, and then you look that over here and juxtapose that to investor B, who starts off great. You get some really awesome, strong years right as you're starting to take those distributions. So you're kind of living off the interest, so to speak, still getting that 65,000. I'm not going to go through this whole chart, but I just really want to skip down here to the bottom and show that the average is the same. So if we talk about the average rate of return over those 15 years of distributions, it was the same. But look what the difference is. One is basically you don't have any more money and then some, and the other is you get a nice substantial nest egg still. So it's very important to make sure you understand the sequence of returns. And if you're concerned about that, there are tools and strategies to really eliminate that and take that off the table. And that's what we can help you discuss.
And I love when you call it your hope so money and your know so money. This is exactly what you're talking about in a lot of ways. It's just taking some of the what ifs off the table and hopefully giving you more peace of mind, and just creating peace of mind so that you don't. I think the biggest fear for my personal retirement would be running out of money. Like
absolutely, absolutely
more know so. Like, we at least have a floor and some clarity on how to do this. So yeah. Do you want to talk real quick before we wrap up? We have the complementary analysis, the benefit.
Yeah, for anyone that's interested, we do a federal a federal employee benefits report. No cost, no obligation. We just take 7 questions, and then we can give you an idea of what your first pension would look like, a projection of your TSP, and then we have some other ideas and strategies to help you maximize income, eliminate or manage the sequence of return risk. And then also even Fegley's baked into that. We can talk about that as well.
And we hopped on a Zoom call with you, so we point out, so it's not something we just shuffle off to you. We can go through it with you. It's a quick call, probably a half hour or less. And we're just having a conversation. It's not a high pressure sales call. We're not selling you a used car or a timeshare. We're just trying to,
right. Unless you want one.
Joe does have a fleet of timeshare.
No. Yeah. Very good. Well, another great week of Fed Friday. Great conversation. If anyone has questions or would like to take us up on the offer of the free federal benefits report, we'd be more than happy to put that together for you. And if you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, call the office, email us, send up a smoke signal, get in touch with us. We're happy to help.
The only thing, I don't know about your office there in Chicago, but my office here in the Phoenix area does not deal well with carrier pigeons. So that's really the only way we
they get treated like the carrier pigeons of the Lost Battalion. That's
right. That's right. All right. With that, I'm going to take us out and have a great week and look forward to talking to everyone next week. Be well.